Welcome.
Hello? Are we on? Is this thing on? Hello? Happy Thanksgiving.
He really enjoys Thanksgiving. I do too. I hope you do too.
Who's on tonight? Let's find out. Diane, Shilly, hello. Amber Coffee, how are you tonight? Kathy, Patsy, Carrie, Cheryl, Lana, how are you tonight? Just saw your post a minute ago. Hey, Deb, Louise, Jen, Karen, Debbie. Awesome. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
This is us.
This is us. This is what
You're
we do.
in the right spot.
You are in the right spot. We have announcements. We have promotions.
Got a great project
Friday.
tonight,
We do have
I
a great
think.
project. It's kind of cute. This is actually a table runner. This is halfway done. So I'm going to show you how to make the other half.
Who are we?
We are Windmill Sewing Center, Quilters HQ, and Sewing Machines Express. The websites are windmillsewingcenter.com, quiltershq.com, and QHQ2.com. We do this every Tuesday from 6 to 7 Central. Thank you for joining us. Be sure and do our sound check. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us on both YouTube and Facebook. And we appreciate it when you do all the stuff with the buttons like share, follow, subscribe. There's one more. Like, share, follow, subscribe.
Click the little bell so you know when we get new content.
Notify.
Notify, yeah, that's in Facebook, right?
I think it's in YouTube.
Okay. Barb. How are you, Jackie? Kathy's on. Carol hopped on.
So, announcements. It's Thanksgiving. Today after tomorrow.
We don't know what day it is.
The stores are closing early tomorrow so that, staff can spend time with their families. So, Quilters HQ and Windmill Sewing Center are closing at 2. Do you know what time Sewing Machines Express is closing?
They're closing at 2 also.
2 o'clock. So all 3 stores are closing at 2. Be sure and get in and get your supplies. If you mention this show, we'll honor our Black Friday specials, and I'm going to tell you what those are.
Awesome.
So,
and then we'll be here Friday.
Actually, I don't know
Regular
what windmills
hours?
are. I know that on the brother side, they're doing a discount on scan and cut supplies. And feet for your brother machines. I don't know what, and Joel's on. Did Joel get on?
Who knows?
Joel, if you're on, type in what the windmills specials are for Bernina.
Hey, Tom, how are you tonight?
I know that there are some great sewing machine prices and sales and bundles. You'll want to come in definitely if you even have an inkling about a new machine. You'll want to come in and see
Hey,
those.
Peggy, how are you tonight?
At Sewing Machines Express, they have some 3-yard bundles down there, and it's buy 2 get 1 free. Sewing machine feet are 25% off. Notions are 25% off. Yardage, 1 to 2 yards is 15% off. 3 yards and more is 20% off. Robison Anton thread is buy 2 get 1 free. And then Viking has 30% off notions and accessories. So definitely, stabilizer, all kinds of stuff. And that's at Sewing Machines Express in Springfield. At Quilters HQ, we are doing 20% off of kits. 1 to 2 yards is 15% off. 3 yards or more is 20% off. And then 20% off of threads and 20% off of notions. So check your email.
That's through Saturday, right?
That is through Saturday. And I could just make an executive decision and say, at Windmill and Bernina and Brother Store, 20% off of notions, 20% off of thread. I don't think they have kits, but they do have feet, and we will do the feet at 25% off. So if you come in tomorrow to stock up because you have a long weekend, stock up for your weekend, so you have your sewing projects lined up because you're only cooking one day, and then everybody else is working, eating leftovers. This is like the perfect holiday for sewing.
We have these little batting bags too.
We do have those. I'm going to use that on these because I think you could make a whole quilt this way.
Definitely make a stuffed bear.
So if you come in the store and mention that you saw this on the show, we will honor those tomorrow. But hope to see you on Black Friday. There's no special hours. It's regular hours at the stores. But there are some incredible sewing machine deals out there to be had. So come in, take a look. Long arm deals too. Definitely. Bernine has a really great one.
Yeah, that's really special.
So, okay. Classes and events coming up.
Hey, Kathy.
January 11th through the 13th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Quilters HQ. It's a 3-day retreat. Bring your friends. Got a full kitchen for you to use. We'll provide snacks and the room and some ambiance, and you can just sit and sew.
AccuQuilt specials?
There are some AccuQuilt specials.
They were asking.
You'll have to watch your email for those.
Yeah.
So
They got some pretty strict rules.
they do have some strict rules.
Hey, April, how are you tonight?
So some of the stuff that I told you about is just stuff we're doing in the store. There's no map pricing and stuff like that.
Hey, Ruth.
The things that have map pricing, minimum advertised price that the manufacturers say, you can't do this until this day. So, sorry. Watch your email. And don't forget those codes. I don't think the codes will work on sale prices, though. But yes, we will have an AccuQuilt sale as well. So watch your email for that one.
We are doing well. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Sewing Retreat, Let's Surge 1 is sold out. Both of those classes for January. Let's Surge Threading Your Serger. So dig that serger out of the bottom of your closet and bring that box in. It's $20 for an hour-and-a-half class. I know that Joyce is going to clip your threads and make you thread that machine like 4 or 5 times so that you know how to thread it. That is our biggest challenge with sergers, unless you have an air thread and then they're just a breeze. It's $20. Dates and times we don't have yet, but look for more information on that. Clubs, be sure to sign up. Be sure and watch your emails in December for the new clubs for all 3 stores. I know we're going to do OESD this year, probably in all 3 stores. And they have a wonderful program, School of Embroidery. And so it's not just making one thing over and over. It's all kinds of things. They have freestanding lace. They have all kinds of projects. Tiling scenes. Those are really fun too. Last one of the year for AccuQuilt, December 15th. And then Kimberbell, Cool as a Cucumber, and Not Today eye masks, $25 per class. That one is December 10th. And the Joan Sews Live Sew Along, which is the pink, stitch pink, that is starting December 6th. That's 2 Thursdays, right? Or 2 Tuesdays away?
December 13th, yeah, something like that.
No, 6th. Or is that
the
next
6th?
Tuesday?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
the week
Tuesday after.
Yeah.
So we'll be starting that. So you have a little bit of time. We still have some openings left if you want to sign up. That one will be a lot of fun. I'm kind of excited about making that quilt. It'll be fun. Another class, my first t-shirt quilt, January 20th through February 10th, or April 15th through May 6th at Quilters HQ, $60 for 4 sessions. All of these classes are on the website as well if you want to sign up now. You don't want to wait, and if you do have to miss a class, we don't, because you've reserved that seat, we don't do a refund. We give you store credit. So if you can't make the class, you can apply that store credit to the next one. Bend the Bear is January 28th through February 11th, $45 for 3 sessions, and these are just adorable.
That's pretty cool.
Grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I've seen them made out of baby clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And Melody Bear, April 22nd through May 6th, $45 for 3 sessions. And always check your email and check the website for new classes coming up. Okay, that's kind of all I have for announcements. Questions about anything?
So somebody was asking, are we going to start some of the Juki long arm classes next year?
That is something we had talked about with
We're still talking to Juki about that,
Yep.
So we'll see what we can come up with on that.
Yep.
I know that I think there's going to be some stuff with the printer and the Tajima.
Yep, there's going to be some
8 needle.
classes with those. So just watch. I mean, December for us is like planning central. It's like almost like planning for a wedding. It's like getting everything organized and making sure we have all the supplies and teachers and everything we need to teach these classes and clubs throughout the next year. So just stay tuned to your emails and watch for those. What other questions?
Any other questions out there, guys?
This is a fun project. I cut it out with AccuQuilt, but you can use anything. A plate. These can be any size. This works for whatever circle you're using. You know, you could draw the line and sew it.
I was looking for the thread of the month.
It's over there.
Oh, over.
And so I'm going to show you how to make these. You need your doohickey, your turning tool, an iron, some scissors, sewing machine, and I used the 8-inch circle die to cut my circles. But this is a really easy project, and I'm making a table runner here. I think if you put batting in the middle of this, you could actually make a quilt.
We actually did forget one announcement. Yes, customer appreciation. Thank you, Jeanette. I appreciate that. Customer appreciation is December 3rd
at Windmill Sewing Center.
And I think it's 9:30 to 5 or 3. 9:30 to 3, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. So come by, have some drinks, get a goodie bag. We're definitely going to have the coupon books. We're working on the coupon books for next year, so that should be good. So come on by. We'll post something probably Friday.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for people. Lana said, love to have a class quilting with your embroidery machine.
Okay.
That has been a highly requested one. So
I know that Dana's taught that with the Luminaire.
she has.
I know that Elna does it. Bernina just released a hoop for quilting with your embroidery machine. So we'll see what we can put together for that. Brother does it best with the Luminaire 3 because you can do your whole quilt. And it's kind of like an endless hoop method. And they have that scanner on the machine. So if you don't want to, for example, if you were quilting this and you didn't want to quilt this like orange peel, you could actually scan it and quilt in just this area.
Hey, Cindy. Hi. Hey, Kitty.
So, did Lana say what machine she has?
Oh, she didn't. I think just in general, and that's been a big requested one. So Judy's on here, so I'm sure she's making notes.
Yes.
Let's see. Karen, welcome. So I would say jump into it.
Okay, well, let's go over to the sewing machine because I have everything set up over there. And we'll get started with this. New chair. Okay, so my iron is hot. I'm just checking to make sure I have everything. So these are made with just circles. And so the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to do 2 of these and show you how to attach them and how you measure it. But like I said, you can use any circle you want to make your table runner. You could use these as a pillow cover. I have some fabric that I'm not really in love with anymore, so I'm thinking I'm going to make a tablecloth using this method. Super easy to put all of this together. I think you'll like this project. So let's get started.
Hey Gail, hey Cheryl, how are you?
So I am using a 1/4 inch seam. And so I am just lining my little magnetic guide up. And then I'm going to move my needle. I think my foot has to be down. All the way over. And I am going to make my stitch size 1.8. And we are going to stitch all the way around these. Now, if you have a hover feature on your machine, turn it on because you'll make sewing these together a little bit easier. I'm not pinning or gluing. We're just sewing these. I'm not even going to backstitch. I'm actually going to just sew over where I was before. So that hover feature makes it easy for you to make sure that you're making a continuous turn. So we don't sew really fast when we're doing this. So we're only doing, 12 or 15 stitches. And the other thing that I did that I forgot to do was my presser foot pressure, and I want to reduce that because I want to be able to turn this under my presser foot. And close. See, that's much better. Don't worry if you get off by a little bit. Everything on this is on the bias. And this is a great project that doesn't require a whole lot of precision. You do want your circles to be all the same size. So whatever stitch seam you're using, they all need to be that size. And I forgot to mention, these are Tilda fabrics that we have in the store. And just a couple of back stitches and cut. Let's do the next one. And I know you're thinking, how am I going to turn all of these if I'm sewing a complete circle? And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Get these lined up. If you have the circle die, this is the best way to do it. It makes a nice size. It almost looks like a cathedral quilt, cathedral windows. And let me lock stitch this just for a couple stitches and cut. Okay, so we have 2 sewn together. This is actually going to be 4 wide. And so if you look at these, the way they're turned, let me find one, is you actually cut a little hole because these get tacked down later. So you cut a little hole in the color that's facing up. So with this one, it's blue. So we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to kind of pull these apart. Now you want to come down about a ½ inch from your seam and make a little cut so that you can get your scissors in. Be careful not to cut the white fabric as well. And we're just going to cut just enough to turn this. So about 1.5 inches. Do the same thing on this one.
Kathy said, could you use the circle sewing foot for these if you have one?
Yes, if you have one, you can do that as well. I know Janome and Elna have that. I'm not sure about the other brands. And then we're just going to turn these. I'm not going to clip them or anything. We're just turning. And get our doohickey, because it is also a turning tool. And pull these seams out.
So somebody was asking about what the Tilda fabrics are.
Tilda is, she's from one of the Swedish countries. I don't know if it's Finland, Sweden, Iceland, but she's a designer. And so I think her website is tilda.com, and she does all kinds of cool projects. She's made little rabbits and all kinds of stuff. So once you get this turned, we're just going to come over here and press it real quick. Pull this closer. Okay. And we're just pressing, and I am pressing from the white side, and this little place where I have the seam, I'm just going to make sure that gets tucked under. And then we're going to lift this down. And then we're going to steam this because we want it to be really flat. We're going to set this aside, let that cool off, and do the other one.
It's Tilda's World.
Tildasworld.com. Cute projects. The fabric is more of a luxury fabric. It does cost a little more. It's $15 something a yard instead of what we're at now is like $13.99 a yard and $12.99 a yard for fabrics. But it's very luxurious, and you can use it for clothing, all kinds of stuff. But just beautiful projects.
Hey Darlene, happy Thanksgiving. Kathy was talking about the circle sewing attachment.
Yes.
I think that's what you mentioned.
Yep.
Or you might have said a foot.
Yeah, so this one doesn't have it. Elna actually gives you a pin that you can poke into a hole that is on the bed of the machine and sew a circle. But there is a sewing circle attachments, I know, for Janome and Elna. And I don't know what it is for the other brands like Brother and Bernina, but most of them have it. It's pretty popular. But yes, you could absolutely do it. If you don't have that attachment, dinner plate works just as well. Your circles will be a little bit bigger, but bigger means done faster. Okay, so let's press this one. And I'm just making sure that that place where we cut is turned under because it tends to want to come out. And then we're going to add some steam because we want this to be really flat. And then that can go over there to cool off. Now, so the next thing you're going to do is, so my cut is right here for this. We're going to come to one of the edges just a little bit in from that where that's open, and we're going to fold it in half, like this. And we're going to put a heavy crease in it. And then we're going to do the same. So you can kind of see, can you see? You can. So there's that heavy crease there. We're going to come up this way and do another one. And don't worry if these don't line up perfectly. You really want these creases that you've put in to line up. That does get hot. Let's do the same thing to this one. Let's find our little hole. And we're going to, so right here's my hole. I'm just going to fold it up like this. And the reason we want to keep track of that hole is because it gets buried in the project. And again, we're going to line up crease to crease. So once you have these, you are going to put your creases together. So just like this, you want to make sure that both sides have the hole. And then we're going to put a seam right where this crease is from edge to edge right across here. And so if you feel more confident marking, you can do that. I'm just going to sew it, and then this gets folded back, and see there's my hole on the other side. These get folded back like this. So that hole that you just cut gets covered up. Magnet and put my seam right back at the center. I still do want to use that 1.8 because I want this to be a pretty solid seam. I'm going to try and put my needle down right where that crease is and finish right where that crease is. And these, like I said, these don't have to be perfect. So, and take a couple of back stitches. And then cut. Okay, so we have the start of that. I'm going to trim this little thread, this little tail off. And we're going to come back over to the ironing and we're going to press this just like this. Put some steam on it. Let it dry. Let it cool off a second because that does get kind of warm. And then we're just going to line these up. And I want to make sure. So I think, and I'm just double checking, but I think all of my places where I've turned are buried under these. So we're going to put our light sides together. Just like this, and then we're going to sew. We can still see our creases, and we're going to sew from crease to crease to crease to attach the next piece. And you can kind of look at the back, make sure your crease is lining up at this point and this point. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, and we're just going to go for it.
Kathy asked what iron you're using.
This
Specials
is
on those, I believe, as well.
There are specials on these, and I don't know what they are off the top of my head.
The Laura Star.
Yep, this is the Laura Star Lift. Come on, back up. There we go.
Hey Miranda, happy Thanksgiving to you.
And I am going to back stitch on this point right here because I want it to be pretty solid. And then I'm going to come forward and I'm making sure that my seams are lined up, my creases, not my seams, I don't have seams on this. Seams are lined up. And I'm going to sew. And again, I want to back up and reinforce that joint. And then come back over here. And we're going to open these up and press again. Move that out of the way a little bit. So this is the Laura Star Lift. I have one of these at home and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So you can turn it on and it will stay on. The steam is not going to burn you, so we wouldn't do this. And it gets hotter than a regular iron. You can use this. I use it in the winter time, so after I wear a big old heavy sweater like this, I'll take it and steam it to get some of the perfume smell out of it, and you know, body odor. I don't have body odor at all, ever, but it's a great iron to have in your home. And so this is how it looks coming together. Now, I think Robert and I are in disagreement on this because I think this will look better if I press these down.
Oh, well, it sounds like a poll here.
We'll just do one. And just press it. So what do you think? Pressed down or have the little rounded edges?
It's pretty cool pressed down. I might have to. You're on the pressing side of the fence, right?
I'm thinking press down.
I let it ride.
And Robert says leave it open. So tacking these down. So you're going to select, and I'm just going to use the regular thread. I'm just using the gray thread that I normally piece with. And I'm just going to find kind of a cool blanket stitch. And we're just going to tack these down. And so when this machine, you go through everything through the t-shirt. And this is an applique. So we're going to quilting. We're going to go to applique. I don't really want a heavy blanket stitch. So I'm going to pick a blanket stitch like that. And we'll test this out to see if this is not the right foot, but we're going to just go with it. And that looks pretty good. We could probably make it a little bit further apart. Yeah, bigger stitch maybe. There we go.
Well, a lot of viewers weighing in on rounded or open, so off to the crest. Couple lead opens. The grappling thing, I think, so.
Yeah, I think it might be. And so you can just continue. So when you get to this middle point, you just continue on around this. We'll call it an orange peel because it's kind of like a robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of project. Yep. Yep, I have some fabric that I think I might actually just make a tablecloth. And so I'm at that point, I'm just going to pivot. And this machine, I can tell it start a new stitch, so I don't have to worry about where I'm at in that stitch.
Ruth was saying, could you put batting in it?
I think you could and make a quilt. I'm going to try that, maybe this weekend. So I think this would look super cute if it was scrappy. So say you have a whole lot of scraps that you're tired of looking at and you're just wanting to do something with them. This would make a really good scrap project. And if you're using it for a table runner or a tablecloth, you absolutely want to press these down. So like some of them you could use like a fusing product and fuse it down. But if you're using this on your table and you're like me, you have gentlemen in the house, you really want to have this pressed down because you don't want crumbs and items getting underneath here and causing issue. Okay, so I'm just going to stop right here in the middle. I'm going to take a couple back stitches and then cut.
Joan says hello from Joan number 2.
Hey, Joan. But that's what your finished piece looks like, all tacked down. Super easy project, huge scrap buster.
Almost any, I mean, a lot of different fabrics you could go with too, right?
Yeah.
And just find something that
And
goes
the back
well together.
just has a little bit, you could use a matching thread. I didn't. The focus on this is going to be on the top, so I don't think anybody will ever see the back.
Well, I think, you know, if the top got dirty, just flip it over.
Only
They're
a guy.
reversible.
Only a guy would say that.
Of course.
So what's the general consensus? Pressed or not pressed?
Peggy was saying no batting would make a nice summer bed quilt.
Yeah.
Love the project, fun project. What a great idea. I don't know, in the final press, it was, I think, a little more towards press down, but...
So on the table runner, maybe you press it down. If you were doing a tablecloth, which is what my intention is for this, not this. This is just going to be a tablecloth that we'll have, or a table runner that we'll display in this store next to the Tilda Fabrics. But if you're doing a tablecloth, I think I would leave the outsides open. But what I really like about this is what we really like about the cathedral quilts is it has that, you know, kind of peekaboo window in it where it has that orange peel look, and it just looks really kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you did put batting in this and you wanted to make a quilt, this blanket stitch, so depending on if you're using AccuQuilt to cut your batting out and your circles, so that's an 8-inch circle, and so the rule of thumb for quilting is you don't want more than a palm size unquilted. This is a quilt as you go project. So if you are using batting inside of this, I would get your pinking shears out and trim around so that you don't have like a lot of bulk around these edges here, because when you try to applique this down, then you'll have a lot of bulk to sew through, because then you're talking about 4 layers of batting, no, 2 layers of batting, 4 layers of fabric. Definitely I would use a size 16 needle if you're going to use batting. That'll save you from having some nesting on the bottom and things like that. So it's a fun project. I thought it was cute. I thought I would share it with you.
Goes really nice with the Tilda fabrics too.
It does. And whatever you're using, get a good contrast so that this orange peel shows up really well. So what does everybody think? Give us an emoji for...
Oh, we do need an emoji. Tom!
Find our emoji. Do we have enough time to do the other 2 and finish it?
We do. We have time.
Okay.
We have some time tonight, so...
not talking as much as I normally do. So I am just lining this up with my, I'm gonna go regular piecing. Actually, I'm just gonna go here. We're just doing a utility stitch. And I am moving this all the way over. And then I'm changing my stitch size to 1.8. I'm putting this little guide right here on the edge of my foot, and that's how we're
Yeah, so Jen was saying she had a table that would look good on, but also that would make, you know, a very pretty bag. If you're doing bags or something, those particular colors would be really cool.
absolutely.
Tom gave us some serious thumbs up. I think that's maybe a Fonzie thing or something there.
And then I'm going to adjust my presser foot pressure. This machine doesn't remember it. It only remembers it for that stitch. So adjust that presser foot pressure so I can sew really quick. So adjusting the presser foot pressure is what allows me to really sew in this circle without having to lift my foot up over and over. And some speed helps too when you're sewing like this. Yep, feeding even. Let's cut that one.
Joan's making Christmas gifts.
Yeah. Oh, this would be wonderful.
So good.
This would be a wonderful gift if you did it in holiday colors. So you could do Halloween, you could do Valentine's.
Heather's saying, yeah, maybe you could cut a square of batting for the middle. That'd be kind of like it's like a centerpiece thing, right?
Mm-hmm. I'll try it out and let you know how it goes. Because we have lots and lots and lots of scrap batting here. Matter of fact, we have bags that we sell for $5 for a big old bag of scrap batting. And that would be perfect for a little project like this. But even if you wanted to do like a mug rug and put some batting in it, you could do just one of these. So if you just did one and folded all of the corners down, mug rug. Okay, and so we are cutting the blue piece, yes. And so I'm just pulling these apart so I'm not cutting that white fabric about a 1/2 inch in and just enough to turn it. So maybe 1.5 inches. That's more like 1 inch, maybe a little more.
The gobble wobble.
The gobble wobble?
Yeah. You eat a lot of turkey and then you got the gobble wobble.
Oh, yeah. I am planning on doing the carb coma.
I think I might be in the carb coma this time.
So we did decide we're having the pumpkin bread pudding. I think I shared that recipe last year.
Yeah, it might have been a couple of years ago even.
Okay.
Time flies when you have fun.
It does, doesn't it? But yeah, easy project. You see how quickly it goes. I think this is a great scrap buster project. So if you have like really vivid colors, you could use black, a back for the backing. And if you have more pastels, like this is kind of pastel, you could use like a lighter color. So if you wanted to use like multiple colors, as long as this back side is the same color, it's going to work. So if you've got a lot of country fabrics put together,
Hello, Rick.
you could do all kinds of stuff.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And did I mention this iron stays on?
Yeah, that's nice too.
It is nice. Nothing is more frustrating to a quilter than some of you may have the one that doesn't. This is a feature they added, I don't remember what year it was, where it just stays on. It's nice having an iron that just stays hot.
They make a sole plate for it so you can
Yep.
tone down the heat for fine fabrics.
400 degrees, I think, is what this gets to. And if you're wondering, does the heat matter? So this is hotter than what your home sewing iron gets. The heat does matter. We had a couple of ladies come in and they were working on a project for their church that they had previously made and used a fusible product, and then somebody took it to the dry cleaners and all of that fusible stuff came out. And so they took it apart, and we recommended, it was a fleece product, the stable fleece or fusible fleece to put inside of it. And it worked, but the home iron didn't get quite hot enough to fuse in some places. So they were leaving it for longer and longer and actually put just a really slight scorch mark in it. So they brought it in and said, what can we do? And I said, well, let's try the Laura Star iron because it gets hotter and you don't have to leave it in place as long. Not sure how I did that, but I did that twice. So this is going to take some finagling. I got 2 holes in this. There you go.
Right? Maybe stuff some batting in there.
It's live, folks. You never know what's going to happen. And with me, anything can happen, so. Okay, let's push that seam out.
A lot of people working on a lot of different projects, some Christmas stuff, a couple of gifts.
Yeah. So I think it'll still work because I can put one there and one here, and we will be fine.
Oh, you want to do the thread of the month club in between your...
Okay.
It's Turkey Day.
Medium butter.
I'm going to go with extra butter on this round, I think.
Medium butter is the color. It is color number 2130. It is 51% off during the show. And if you're in the club, it's 20% off. And I'll leave that right there.
Carla was asking if you're using any interfacing in there at all.
I am not. This is just fabric. And so I just want to make sure that these two, I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I cut it twice. But I just want to make sure that these are both going to be covered up. And so if I fold back, that one is, and that one is. Perfect.
It's like a little soft taco shell there.
It does look like a soft taco. And now I want tacos.
If you're in the club and you ordered more than one spool, is there still the % off?
Yes. If you're in the club, all of your thread is 20% off for Aerofill. And like I said, my cut is here, so I'm just going to kind of make sure that that gets covered like that. Those are hot too when you use steam, so be careful. Or use those little silicone finger cover things. So, is this right? Nope. Goes this way. I have to think about this for a second. And where's my other? Yep, that's right, and that's right. And where is my other one that's cut? So, that'll work. And we're just going to sew a straight line. This is why I like using the magnet on this, because I can just move it out of the way, touch my stitch again, change it to 1.8. So all of with this machine, all of those presser foot changes that I made, they're gone. once I reset that, once I just click on that stitch again, all of those stitches revert back. I do like using the smaller stitch. And so let's go. Ooh, we are almost out of thread. We might have just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough. And then I'm going to have to wind the bottom.
We do have a giveaway tonight, too.
We do have a giveaway. Tonight's giveaway is compliments of Benartex, if that gives you an idea of what it is. So again, I'm just making sure this seam and we're backwards. We need to go. Nope. I don't know why I'm confused all of a sudden. It's not the blue ones that are opening up. It's why am I confused about this all of a sudden? This is going to open up like, yep, that's right. So light side to light side. Had to think about it for a second. Happens to all of us. And again, these crease marks are just our guides. We're just sewing from crease to crease. If you want to mark and it makes you comfortable, then definitely do it. And I've seen these where people put buttons where these intersections are. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to leave it. Okay. Let's open it up and press that. I really like this project. It's easy. It goes quick.
Happy Thanksgiving, Georgia.
So when you're thinking about your gift giving and what kind of presents you're going to make for people, this was a yard of fabric. There we go. I like it.
It came out cool, yeah. Yeah.
So all we have left to do is stitch it down.
Yeah.
Decide whether or not we're going to fold the...
I think a lot of people have been with the press down.
Press it down. Well, that is the easy thing about this. You can audition that.
Was it a yard of each color or just one
No,
color?
1 yard. Half a yard of each.
Half a yard of each.
And that gives you this, I think it's like 12 by 24. I have a ruler right here on this table. 22. Let's fold these up and press it. And that one up and press it. And then now it kind of looks like a dog bone, but
How large was your circles?
these are the AccuQuilt 8-inch circle.
8-inch circle.
Yep. So you can definitely use larger for sure. So I'm certain that there's a plate in your house that is just the right size that you could just draw on the fabric if you don't have AccuQuilt, or use the circle maker tool for your sewing machine to make the circles.
And somebody said cut out some cardboard the size you want.
Cut out the cardboard the size you want. I use AccuQuilt because I'm done. Just roll it through and it's all pieced. But
Everybody's agreeing it looks better flat if you're doing that.
the table runner. So fold it in like this. I think it's because you get this this shape, this it's almost like a cathedral window quilt. So I'd go with that. It's kind of a cheater cathedral window quilt.
Yeah, there you go.
Put some batting in these,
There's no
and
cheating in quilting.
there's just
Design
progress.
elements.
It's just progress. It's not cheating. So
Great
But-
project. A lot of people loved it.
glad you liked it. Send us your pictures if you make it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then
What
our
do we have on the
giveaway
giveaway there?
is compliments of Benartex, and it is a sample of a new collection that's coming out from Zest by Modern Quilt Studio. And so some charm squares for you. Cute ones too. And we're just
Terry's working on a winner. So,
waiting for our winners. So everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Be safe. Try not to overeat. I would try, but I'm probably going to because the turkey's going to be too good. Pumpkin bread pudding, the mashed potatoes, and the deviled eggs, and
Oh my gosh. I think I'm hungry.
I think I'm hungry too.
Working on a quilt. Congrats to Kayla White Maloney. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kayla. If you have not shopped with us before, please go to quiltershq.com and register for Joan Sews. We will ship this to you. Or you can send us a direct message with your address and we'll get this in the mail to you. So, as always, oh, and I had a new one that I was going to say.
Oh, Lana said she's never had the pumpkin bread pudding. Oh, it's so delightful.
I'll post it on the Quilters HQ Facebook page.
There we go.
So you can go and check that out, try it out. I do modify the recipe. I replace the pumpkin filling with pumpkin pie filling and add some cloves, some allspice, some cinnamon, just to make it where it smells really rich and yummy. And then I just use regular, what is it, Hillshire Farms cinnamon raisin swirl
cinnamon raisin.
bread.
Yeah, bread.
And it says half loaf. I use the whole thing. Just throw it because it will get consumed. There are never leftovers of it. It's always all gone. I don't think we've ever had to toss it. So, as always, check your thread path. Change your needle.
That's very nice. Thank you. So she was very thankful for us and videos.
Oh.
We thank all of you.
We're very
without you guys,
grateful.
we're just posting videos to I don't know where. So.
Well, I mean, it's wonderful to have this common community where we all share a love of something, and it doesn't matter what our background is, political beliefs, religious beliefs. We all love quilting and sewing, and that is what binds us together in this community. And we are very giving and sharing people, and you guys are the best. And we love doing this, and we hope you enjoy it too. And so we're very blessed.
Very thankful for all of you.
Yes.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. From Quilters HQ, Sewing Machines Express, Windmill Sewing Center. Be safe.
Have fun.
Hopefully we'll see you Friday, Saturday,
Yes. Or tomorrow.
or whenever.